This conference will now be recorded.
All right, we'll call the zoning board meeting of June 20th to order. It's 6 o'clock on the money, and we'll start right off with case ZB 23-12. Yeah, you just have to come up and. You seem aggressive tonight.
What's that?
They're very
Yeah.
catching us. Yeah, yep.
Yep.
Okay. Cheryl Bentley with Allen Bentley Consulting. Basically, I help with shoreline permits and wetland permits usually, but now I'm helping with some town permitting. I'm
Micron?
representing Patty and
Yeah, it
Ross
is,
Garofalo. Their home address is out of Plymouth, but they own 12 Murphy Lane in Tilton. It's tax map R9, lot 3.
Awesome, thank you. So usually what we just do is have you read the application into the record, and then just kind of give a general overview.
So application for variance. Just start right at the top?
Yeah, it's kind of monotonous, but
That's fine. Name of applicant is Ross J. and Patricia M. Garofalo.
you can go down to the 5, the
Okay.
section 1 and the criteria. there.
Section 1, application for variance. Okay. Variance is requested from Article 7. Just been a while. From Appendix C of the zoning ordinance to permit a front door entrance to the current dwelling and an egress to access the front door. Side stairs to exit toward the back of the property would be attached to the egress. And then I sent in an addendum to that to ask more specifically to change the minimum lot setbacks from 30 feet to 14 feet for the front and from 20 feet to 6 feet for the side setback for the right side only on lot 9-3.
No worries. No rush.
Okay. Facts supporting the request. 1, granting the variance would not be contrary to the public interest because an additional safety exit would be afforded to the inhabitants in case of fire, and the front door would conform to the look of the other houses along the lane. 2, if the variance were granted, the spirit of the ordinance would be observed because the owners have tried to keep the footprint of the egress as small as possible so as not to encroach on property lines. 3, granting the variance would do substantial justice because it would help ensure the safety of the residents. 4, if the variance were granted, the values of the surrounding properties would not be diminished because the front door and egress would improve the aesthetics of the community. 5, unnecessary hardship. Owing to a special condition of the property that distinguish it from other properties in the area, denial of the variance would result in unnecessary hardship because no fair and substantial relationship exists between the general public purposes of the ordinance provision and the specific application of that provision to the property because granting a variance would allow improvements to the entrance and egress and enhance the safety of the residents, avoiding ice and snow buildup on the current entrance. An additional exit on the west side of the building would also be beneficial in the event of a structure fire. And the proposed use is a reasonable one because safety for the residents is of utmost importance and access to the house would be much improved. B, explain how, if the criteria is subparagraph A are not established, an unnecessary hardship would be deemed to exist if, and only if, owing to special conditions of the property, the distinguish it from other properties in the area, the property cannot be reasonably used in strict conformance with the ordinance, and a variance is therefore necessary to enable a reasonable use of it. This would allow access without ice and snow buildup due to being on a gable end and will reduce nonconformity as the main entrance would not face the side and the back of the property. How's
Thank
that?
you.
All right. So we've already got some possible changes.
Yeah, just give us a general idea of what it is that you're doing and how you ended up with this specific plan where it's
Yeah,
got a.
so they wanted a front door. They didn't have one on that particular house. They had a side, kind of almost in the back kind of door, off of a deck that was up on the second floor. So they wanted to change that, and they were kind of hoping for a deck off the front leading to that front door, the egress, and then with stairs that kind of went down the side and to the back of the property. So they were getting pretty close to the neighbor's lot line. And so they have a little issue with that. And so they've decided they won't go down the side of the house. They'll keep to the edge so that they're not in that, because it's about, you said, a 20-foot span
Between the two houses.
between the two houses. It's not very big. So to keep that open and not, encroach anymore on that property line, they won't go past the edge of that house. So that whole side, I guess that would be the south side, they won't do that part at all. So it would come off the front of the house and
Okay, all right.
So they want to eliminate, I guess,
They're
this.
dropping that back. Okay,
They're
okay.
dropping that.
Okay.
So they sent a text message, so.
The house is very close to the
So
street.
we're trying to figure this out, okay.
Yeah, no worries.
So not much, eliminating any plans to continue the platform beyond the house, so
Then
that's,
get rid of the 20
so
feet,
nothing-
6 feet.
I assume
nothing
so,
over
yeah.
here.
Yes.
Okay. So they
yeah.
don't need to change
Work.
anything from the side of the house, the south side, which would be that 6-foot.
Okay, so just for clarification on the variance, it's
Yep.
only asking now for the minimum setback
For
from
the
30 to
front.
14.
Just for the front.
Just
Right.
for the front,
We're no longer talking about the 20 to 6.
between lot 3 and lot 4, you're talking about.
So, right, nothing between lot 3 and lot 4. So it would be really the front of the house. And so it would be, where are my lot numbers? Basically 22 and 1 are the only ones. And I guess, even though I guess it's the same, it is a private road versus a public road, but the variance would still be necessary for that.
Yes, because the private road is still owned by
Yep.
your neighbor or someone.
Yep. So
How-
we would just keep that part of it. So the setback from 30 feet to 14 feet for the front.
And this is including the stairs?
Yes, because they're now going to exit, it looks like,
Going towards the driveway?
going toward the driveway.
Can I ask you a question? How close is that deck going to be to the street? Because I rode by there and the houses are like right almost on the street. I mean, on the road.
Yeah, so trying to get the measurements like as close as I could get based on what I could see. It looked like the setback was already, it's already in the setback.
Mhm.
So if we left 14 feet, it would be about, I was trying to figure out so the size of that deck was going to come out. I said 6 feet. It's really like it was 5 feet 9 inches and 3/4 or something like that was the original plan. But I just said 6 feet, and then I think I even kind of gave them a safety factor of another foot.
Yeah, because there's no lights on that road at night, is there? So if that deck, you know what I mean, it could become a hazard. If it's
It
too-
won't be out in the street.
Well, I mean,
It's still gonna be.
okay,
It's not gonna be that.
okay. Okay. Thank you.
So we're obviously talking approximations here because you don't have it. If you're looking at the top-down picture here.
Yep.
We're talking basically about what these, it looks like there's some mulch beds.
Yes,
So you're basically exchanging these mulch beds.
or a
approximately
deck.
For
Yeah.
a deck.
And some
are
stairs.
going to be headed towards the
Towards the
driveway
driveway.
now?
Yep.
Rather than towards
Yep.
Murphy Lane? Okay.
Which kind of makes sense if you're, like, I was thinking, like, what if a FedEx guy comes and he wants to deliver a package? Where does he go? Because he normally would have to go all the way to the back of the house. And now you've got stairs, they're right there in the driveway. It kind of makes sense to go up to the front door.
So do you believe that mulch bed is approximately 6 feet out from the house?
Yeah, it's pretty, yeah.
Where's the entrance right now?
So if you go in the driveway and you go to the very back of that driveway, like all the way down, almost to the lake, there's a set of stairs there that go up onto a second floor deck. And then you can go
So if I'm
around.
looking at this picture right here,
Yeah,
this one, not the smaller one.
right.
It's way back in here?
Where the number 1 is?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Way back in this area?
Yeah, so that's the deck right there, and there's a door.
So that right now, that's the only entrance
Actually, if you go all the way back, there is another door right there, but it's on the
facing the
bottom.
water?
Yes, and
Okay.
it's on the ground floor, whereas that one's on the second floor.
So they want to put this deck out the front towards Murphy and make an egress out to that deck? Or how are you going to?
Now they're just gonna come off, just have you walk out the door, which is on the second floor. You have some deck, and then you're gonna start to go downstairs.
Yep. Yep. So there's already a door there.
No, they have to put that in.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. So it's going to be another egress adding to the house.
Basically, yes.
I got a question on the, when I was looking over the original plan, it talked about the possibility of a different roof structure. Is
Yeah, and
there?
they opted not to do that. That was an original plan from the architect who thought that they could make it fancier in the front, and they opted not to change the
So
roof line.
at this point, it's just the
Just the
deck and
deck,
putting in the door?
The door, and they're gonna change out some windows on the front side. Make them more weather efficient, I believe.
But not making a covered deck or a different type of roof line or anything
No,
like that?
they're not changing the roof line, and they're just doing the deck, the door, the windows, that's all you're gonna change on the outside.
Do you have any, did any of the butters write any comments about this? Send any comments in or have any comments?
I didn't receive any emails.
Is there any abutters here that want to speak? Sorry.
That's okay.
What's that?
Basically, got a little worried about the egress.
Further away from the road?
From the road and most
And you're on board with their proposed plan, the amended one?
the amended one. It's just too close.
Yeah, they're talking about that on the south side.
Yeah, that's gone.
Yeah,
Just what was your name? Sorry, just for the.
Marcel Boudreaux.
Marks, okay, thank you.
And you're on Murphy Lane as well, lot 3?
14.
There,
Well, lot four.
Lot 4.
Yep.
This lot here.
Okay.
Questions for him? No? Ann, no?
No.
Any other public comment? All right, we'll close public comment and deliberate. I kind of agreement with the abutters. I wasn't on board with the path down the side. That was
Right.
just kind of too
Agree.
tight.
Right.
But as far, I mean, all these houses down in there, they're all these
Yeah, they're-
non-conforming lots, they're jammed up tight. I like that they changed the staircase towards the driveway instead of towards the street. Kind of keeps the whole thing more compact.
Mhm.
And makes sense now to me.
Yep. And yes, and since they eliminated the south side,
Yeah.
that was going to be an issue.
Problem, yeah.
Definitely agree with that. Would have been too tight.
Yep.
You guys want to go forward with it?
Or I'll go ahead and move approval as proposed.
Okay. We still got to go through our 5. We have this process where we go through all 5 of them, just for the sake of clarity for everyone. But then would love to second that. All right. Granting the variance would not be contrary to the public interest. No, I think, like I said, in my opinion, all these houses down along the lake are non-conforming lots. This is assuming that this mulch bed depiction is pretty accurate, even fits with what's going on. similar. If the variance were granted, the spirit of the ordinance would be observed. Kind of the same stance. The spirit's to not let things get too overcrowded and dense, but that's kind of the nature of those neighborhoods. Granting the variance to do substantial justice. I think it gives their property based on the layout. If the variance are granted, the values of the surrounding properties would not be diminished. There's no demonstrable evidence of diminished property values from it. And owing to a special condition of the property that distinguishes it from other properties, denial of variance would result in unnecessary hardship. The non-conforming lot can't even build the house within the setbacks. You certainly can't get in and out of it. The proposed use is a reasonable one. They're not gigantic deck. 5.5 foot wide deck seems pretty reasonable. And that's that. Anyone want to second his motion? Oh, that's correct. Good catch. Thank you.
Correct.
We have to make it
Right.
amend it to the.
Amended.
Right.
So they are looking for they no longer want the wraparound deck, and they want 14 foot,
No longer on the south side either.
no longer on the south side. So they want a 14-foot setback where there's now 30. So they want to be, we always go the opposite way, right? So they want a 16-foot variance.
Yes. Right?
To
be allowed 16 feet?
Hold on, let me make sure the math is right.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
On the north side?
it's changing the minimum lot setback from 30
You
feet.
can't
So-
change the setback.
Okay.
So you're looking for a variance of the
Variance
setback
for
of 30.
14 feet from the,
Boundary line.
from the boundary.
On the north.
I had already figured that.
On the
Okay.
north side, correct?
On the, it's actually the west side.
The west
If
side.
you're
Right.
looking at that.
So you're looking for a 14-foot variance. You want to cut into the setback by 14 feet.
So it's to allow.
Wait, I don't know.
I
it's
think I already
14
did that
feet.
part. So I might have written it wrong. It's from the road in 14 feet.
Okay, so 14.
Yeah, okay.
So it's going to be 16-foot.
No, she would
Okay.
like a variance of 14 feet.
Okay.
Is what she's looking for.
Right, because it's not even 30 now as it stands, so.
Okay.
So that I'm clear on this also, in other words, you're only really coming out from the building approximately 6 feet. So when you're looking at this where it says from 30 feet to 14, it looks like there's
It
a
looks like 15
16-foot
feet, but it's
differential,
not.
but
It's not. It's
Okay.
like about at 20.
Because it's
now.
not 30 feet now.
Right, right, it's like at 20 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just going to add that 5.5 feet or,
And that's on
whatever
the
the
west side, right?
west side.
West side,
yes.
okay. Thank you.
Facing Murphy Lane.
Okay.
Murphy?
Murphy, yeah.
From the front setback.
So it's already encroaching.
Well,
16 feet.
when we say front, we mean west, yes.
Yes,
Facing the road.
Facing the road, yes.
facing the road.
I feel like we're clear as mud right now.
Well, because of the dwelling already doesn't meet setback.
Yeah.
So we don't know what figure to start with. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you writing it or am I writing it?
You're writing.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I'm doodling. I'm just taking notes.
Okay.
You're writing it.
And now on the north side, you're going,
Nothing.
yeah.
North
Nothing.
You,
sides.
the
They
driveway.
won't be past the house.
Driveways.
Okay.
Yeah.
There will be no additional.
Okay.
So I believe the motion's going to be to allow a deck to be constructed 14 feet from the side setback where 30 is required.
And by side, we mean west, which looks like the front of the house.
Right.
Murphy roadside.
It's the front setback, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I know. It just gets a little confusing.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we approve a variance from Article 7, Appendix C of the zoning ordinance to permit a deck to be constructed 14 feet from the front setback where 30 is required.
I'll second it.
Seconded. Any discussion on it? All those in favor, vote aye.
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 Ayes have it. And the variance granted. Thanks for coming in. Have a couple things to do. We gotta do minutes, and we gotta elect a new vice chairman, unfortunately. Any motion on the minutes from May 16th?
Sure, I'll move acceptance.
I'll second it.
Good night.
The
You're
motion
welcome.
and
Good night.
Brian
Good night.
seconds. A motion to accept the minutes from May 16th. Any discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
The minutes are accepted. And any motions for a new vice chair?
Brian, I nominate you.
Ann nominates Brian. Any seconds? Second it?
I'll second it.
Chuck seconds it. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then were you just hanging out, or did you have any? Awesome, perfect. Okay. Just
Um,
want to make sure you got a chance to talk if you wanted to. Yes.
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 Yes. Adjourn. I make a motion to adjourn.
Motion been made,
I'll second it.
made and seconded. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The meeting is
Aye.
adjourned at